hereby request Professor Onkar Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Veer Madho Singh, Bhandari, Uttarakhand Technical University, Dehradun, to please come on stage and share his thought-provoking insights with all of us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Professor P.B. Sharma Sahab, Professor Prateek Sharma, my friend Professor Naveen Kumar, the faculty members of this institution, and the delegates and participants from various institutions across the country, dear students and the persons from press and media. It's my privilege to be part of this 3-day workshop dealing with the Industry 5.0 at the time when India is also navigating fast to be a world leader in artificial intelligence and associated domains. Since quite long we have been talking of the automation. We have been imitating the things which are happening across the world, and in the process we have done a lot of improvement and major changes, especially in the service sector. And as a result of that, the most of our economy is centered around service sector. This is being discussed at appropriate levels, and quite often we come across the paradigm shift in the economy verticals, which we have seen, and the manufacturing has taken a back seat, agriculture has taken a back seat, and there is a predominance of the service sector economy. Undoubtedly, with the kind of demographic dividend which we have, the service sector has opened so many new frontiers. The use of the technology in meeting out the services has opened up the domains like your Zomato is there, Swiggy is there, e-commerce is there, and there are lot many verticals which have come up. And if you look at the startup composition of the country, the major startups or the unicorns have been in the service sectors. That's good for us, but at the same time, looking at the socio-economic diversity which the country has and the kind of the population which we have, 140 crores of population, and the spread of the country, starting from the hills to plains and to the coastal areas, we have our own challenges. There is no place in the world which has so much of diversity, which has so much of overloading on its own territories. See the kind of population which we have people who are still below poverty line. We have sizable population which we call as the middle class. We have a population which we call as the affluent class. With so much of diversity, we as a part of the engineering fraternity or as a part of the academic fraternity or the ones who have the understanding for what is happening around, it's responsibility for each one of us to spread the right message to the younger generation who can take the mantle forward. And the spirit with which I am speaking today, apart from the Industry 5.0, the head of Department of Mechanical Engineering of this university has touched the issue which is very close to me. See, as a Vice Chancellor of a technical university, which is primarily of affiliating nature, I have seen the shift which is there in the aspirations of the students. And this is not true with one state, it's true across the country. Now the whole engineering, say if you call off the engineering specializations, everything is revolving around computer science. And about 2 years back, I wrote an opinion piece dealing with this particular Industry 5.0 subject, where I emphasized that it's not the computer science alone which will make this civilization sustainable. And this civilization cannot thrive unless until we have the competencies in all the domains. The Industry 5.0 which we speak of, it's not only pertaining to the manufacturing sector, it deals with every sector. The sector which we look at, that sector should be automated in order to ease out the human drudgery, but at the same time, it should not replace the human element. That's what Industry 5.0 focuses upon. See, the human resource which we are nurturing, we as a part of academia need to spread this message to all the younger students who are in class 10, 11 and 12, that you should look at the miracles which are around you, which you call as the technological marvels, and you consider them as the wonders in this world. See, these wonders have not been created only by the interventions which have brought in by the information technology and its associated domains. These marvels have been created through the core engineering. So we need a significant numbers of mechanical engineer, we need good civil engineers, we need good chemical engineers, we need good all core electrical engineers, electronics engineers. So there has to be a good mix of all the engineering human resource. If we do not do it, whatever we discuss and deliberate, perhaps we will be failing in reaching out to the objectives which we put before us. The objective before us is to be a world leader. We are already world leader in terms of the population, so let's use our population to the best of its potential so that we can contribute to the economy and lead the economic frontier as well. That's our challenge today. So this particular objective which we have laid down before us, it's a collective objective. It's not the objective which has been put forward by the Honorable Prime Minister of the country. It's the objective which we all have to choose because we have to survive and thrive. We cannot survive or thrive unless until every Indian is happy, every Indian is contributing for his own development and the development of the society. So this is our requirement and this is our objective, this is our goal, and this is the collective goal for which we all have to work upon. So the human resource distribution, human resource competency generation, and then on the top of it, using technology for the good of the humanity at large, that is the objective and the challenge before each one of us. So if we talk of industrial revolutions, these industrial revolutions have been revolving around the ease of human being. The ease of human being started with the industry 1.0 creeping in, getting gradually graduated to industry 2.0, then 3.0 and 4.0, where we have the cyber physical systems. We have become consumers to a large extent. Most of the time we are spending in using the technologies. We have to be the producer of technology. With the demographic capital which we have, unless until we do not become the producer of the technology, we will always remain slave to the developed countries across the world. We have been trying to imitate what they are doing. That could be good to a certain extent. It can lead us to certain, wonderful roads, but at the same time we have to see that we'll have to create our own roadmap so as to suit our own socio-economic diversity. The things which are good for a developed nation may not be appropriate for our own society. The place from where I am coming in, say that place has its own limitations. We call it as a Himalayan state, we call it as a Dev Bhumi. We have so many good things with us, but if you look at the demographic, spread which we have, the villages are becoming ghost villages. The schools which we have been created, wonderful school infrastructure is there. If you compare it with any of the state, you will find that Uttarakhand is having best of it. But we do not have the children to study in those schools. The people are migrating out from their own places. It's not that they are not financially well off. They have huge capitals which are coming to them through horticulture. But they do not want their kids to survive and thrive in those specific territories because of certain limitations which are there. These limitations need to be seen by each one of us. We sitting in at one place, when we brainstorm, we should try to look at the canvas which we have in front of us and try to touch upon every aspect which is eventually going to become a challenge for us. So this presentation which I have prepared, because I should have some structured thing to discuss. With this brief background, let me move on to the presentation, please. So this is the chronological evolution, because if we are talking of Industry 5.0, it becomes pertinent to see how it all has evolved. The timelines have been shared before you, starting from 1780, when we coined this word Industry 1.0, and we had the mechanization, we had the steam, which became a most powerful element. And those who are from the mechanical engineering fraternity, they understand the relevance of the steam, how potential the steam is. All prime movers, every power which we generate, we try to generate it through steam. So that's what was the beginning. Then we had the manufacturing. Then we had the computers, which have spread very fast, and then it came the cyber physical systems. The cyber physical systems somehow developed a perception that they are going to replace the human being. And this became a challenge, and it was in 2019, and this was deliberated by the European Union, And in 2019, they coined this word Industry 5.0 because they realized the limitations which Industry 4.0 has. They realize the limitation which the cyber physical systems are going to pose before us. So what we need to go for all kind of technology uses, but we have to see that the human interventions are there, because the human face has to be there. The human element has to be there. Some emotions have to take care of those technological advancements which we are undertaking. With this objective, we have Industry 5.0 creeping into the this industrial evolution process. And today, whatever we discuss, these discussions have to be taken in the spirit that each one of us try to contribute their own best, whether it is from your interactions on social media, whether it is from your interactions while discussing with your friends and colleagues, or your seniors, or with your family members, that the technology should not overpower you. If we somehow catch hold of the technology and limit it to the purpose of only facilitation, rest assured, we are not going to be in a dangerous zone. But if we simply rely on technology, it's going to be catastrophic for each one of us. Because the technology will decide how we have to do, what we have to do, and when we have to do. This situation should not happen. Because whatever we do, whatever we create, it's all a human creation. The natural language processings, the large language models which we have created, now our kids are relying heavily on each one of them. What is the consequence of it? Since your mobile SMS system started, kids start losing their control on the writing skills. They started developing a new language which they used to communicate with each other while writing SMS, because it was a short messaging service. So the limitation was imposed by the technology. You had a limitation that it has to be a short message. So when it has to be a short message, you will try to abbreviate it. And in the process of abbreviation, you have lost your own language skills. You lost your writing skills. You lost your comprehension. You lost your so many other associated cognitive skills which were supposed to be carrying forward your communicating skills and strengthening them. And as a result of it, we have opened a new domain where we have the language teaching institutions, we have the establishments which are taking care of our communication needs, which should not have happened, but it has happened as a consequence of the technological advancement. Then came your social media. The social media is good for the sake of interaction, but it is again overpowering each one of us, and we try to develop trust on what we see, what we read, and that becomes a potential threat at times, and we need to take care of it. So the cyber physical systems which we have evolved, the automation which has been there, the automation is also being perceived as if the operator is not required. And if it's not something which cannot happen, it can happen. We can create a system which is completely, the organization is devoid of any human element. You have to just press a button, the whole process line will be on, and the product will be rolled out, and the processes will continue. But this humanless process which we have, the devastation which it may have associated with it, we cannot foresee. And the country like ours, which has a huge human element with us, we need to engage them. So if we do not engage them, that's going to be another danger for our own society and civilization. So the difference between Industry 4.0 and 5.0, which has been there, the difference has been in terms of the perception. The Industry 4.0 talks of the shareholder value, means what is going to be your gain. The Industry 5.0 talks of the stakeholder value, means what is going to be the human gain from it. It's not the capital gain alone, it's the human element also which is coming in. So the stakeholders are being brought in. So that is why Industry 5.0 is being pushed. And since last 5 years, if you look around, you will see huge number of publications coming in the area of Industry 5.0, either with the use of word Industry 5.0, or with the use of term sustainability, or maybe in terms of smart society, or some other associated word could be there, but it all revolves around how stakeholders are going to be benefited. Then it came, Industry 4.0 always focuses upon the short-term profitability. Whereas if you look at Industry 5.0 concept, and the philosophy itself says that it has to be a long-term profitability. When we say long-term profitability, it means we are talking of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years down the line. That means we are trying to take care of the generations which we have. So if we want to take care of the generations and we want them to enjoy the similar kind of life which we have enjoyed, we have to ensure that whatever we do, it does not have any long-term consequences which lead to any adversity to the humanity on this planet Earth. It's not in context to the India as a reason, it is in context to the whole of the globe. We should not do something which has a short-term gain, but in long run, we are going to pay a heavy price for it. We have already seen the consequences. The climate change is there. The rise in temperature is there. This all is happening because we have been using the technology in a very careless way. We have simply tried to limit ourselves. We do not want to put in any effort. We simply want to rely on technology and let technology take care of each of your requirement, and in the process, we'll land up in so many calamities which are beyond our control. So when we advocate for this philosophy of Industry 5.0, we take care of the long-term consequences which are going to be there for the generations down the line. So if you look into the Industry 5.0, it's value-driven. It is taking care of the human creativity. It tries to make the processes efficient as cyber-physical systems have an inherent capability, so they will do it. Then it also focuses upon the intelligent machines. It does not deviate from the cyber-physical system being put in place. There is no difference as when we try to upgrade your Industry 4.0 to 5.0. The only difference is the element of your human intervention or the degree of human intervention must increase. The optimal resource utilization has to be there. The solutions which we arrive at, they have to be effective, they have to be efficient, there has to be a, reuse, recycle, and we want to revitalize whole of the process line. That's what Industry 5.0 focuses. So the core value of Industry 5.0 is revolving around human centricity, its sustainability, and resilience. So it's a complementary thing to the Industry 4.0. So this whole concept of Industry 5.0, see, word Industry 5.0 appears to be quite catchy, but if you look at what it focuses upon each of the concerns which we have today. So when we are using technology, we always have a concern. Say today, there is a lot of discussion happening around that artificial intelligence will be replacing the it will be replacing the manpower requirements. Human resource may not be required. Say certain things you may replace it. That is why this concept of human centricity is coming up. So next please. So the aim, what we have today, it is to engage the industry in realizing prosperity beyond jobs and growth through production processes having a focus on well-being of human resources. Now, if you look at the enablers, what are going to be the key enablers? It is the individualized human-machine interaction technologies that will be connecting and combining the strengths of humans and machines. There could be bio-inspired technologies and smart materials that allow materials with embedded sensors and enhanced features while being recyclable. Now, if you look at each of these key enablers, you will find that there is a requirement of competent human resource from all the domains. When we talk of the bio-inspired technologies, we need biologists, we need biotechnologists, we need mechanical engineers, we need electrical engineers, we need electronics engineers. We also need the computer science professionals to gel all of them together. Then the digital twins. This is also a very common term which has come up in recent past. And this digital twin refers to, we try to simulate the whole production process. Means there is a production process which is happening, which is there on ground. Then we have a simulated version of it, and we try to regulate the physical one by observing the simulated one. So the simulation which we have with us, that's a twin, and that's a digital twin of what is happening on ground. And this digital twin is being used now because we want to keep an eye over how the things are happening, and if we want to intervene at any point of time, that interjection should be possible. Next. The data transmission. storage and analysis technologies, they are also essentially required, and that's also going to be the enabler, and this has been primarily the enabler for Industry 4.0 itself. And the capability to handle that data and to make our systems interoperable. Then artificial intelligence, which we are focusing at, it's also a key enabler because we want to detect what is happening. Say, for example, the causalities in complex and dynamic systems, they may lead to the actionable intelligence. So we want to be the controller of that. Whatever we develop, that should be in our control. We should not create a robo which kills ours and say the one who has developed it. So we want to keep a complete control over what we develop. So the artificial intelligence which we want to rely, which we want to use, that should have our controls. Then technology for energy efficiency, renewables, and storage and autonomy, these are again going to be the key enablers for Industry 5.0 philosophy. Next. If you look at the advantages and disadvantages, the advantages are it will create high-value jobs that afford greater personalization for customers and improved freedom for workers. The disadvantages, there is a difficulty in adapting because we have to train our minds in that perspective. And the resources which we have, they also need to be reorganized with this perspective. Then improved automation and feedback for creating a service-based model. This is the advantage. The disadvantage is some of the organizations may be in a position to do it, and they will be in a position to make their processes human-centric, resilient, and sustainable, while rest of them may lag, because it needs the brainstorming within the organization, the reorganization of the production lines and processes, and the controls. And in the process, if a particular organization fails in reaching up to that level, they will be lagging, and that is one of the disadvantages with the Industry 5.0 philosophy. So if you look at the advantages and disadvantages, the advantages are going to outnumber the disadvantage which we are observing today. Next. See the features which are there. It could be a human-robot collaboration, and there is a new term you might have observed, you might have read it. We call it as cobots. So the employees and collaborative robots interaction that will boost the productivity with worker satisfaction, worker safety and satisfaction. So next. Then customization and personalization, that it encourages the mass customization by quick adaptation to the changes and produces the goods tailored to individual customer preferences with better consumer experience. Next. Then resilience and adaptability. The industries become more responsive and adaptable to the market changes and crises with preparedness for future challenges, and this will all increase the overall resilience of the system. Next. So these are some of the slides which I'll be leaving with the organizers. You can use them, they have been taken from some sources. Say some of the verticals have been shown. There is a textile vertical which is having human-centric design. Then it has research and innovation. Then it has an agriculture vertical, which has a technological integration. There is a holistic partnership. Then there is a urban planning vertical, where again you have collaboration and sustainability trade-offs are there. Then there is another vertical, which is energy management, which deals with the skill development and resource management. Next. So this is again a framework which deals with the Industry 5.0 and sustainability. So I do not know whether it is readable from there or not. So those who are interested, they can take it from the, yeah, please provide them. So this all framework is just, it's a integration of the various verticals. It takes care, it looks into the aspects of challenges and opportunity. It looks into the aspects of your trends and developments. It looks into the aspects of the stakeholders. Next. So this is again an integration of various possible aspects. So this is again graphics which also tells you what possible interactions are likely to be there when we talk of the Industry 5.0 technologies. Next. So if you try to summarize it, so in the Industry 5.0, it will integrate the practices that will foster the environmental protection, that will foster the social equity, that will foster the economic viability. Next. So it has been taken from some source. Industry 5.0 is not just about technology, it's about rehumanizing industry, fostering collaboration, and building a sustainable future where people and machines work together to create value for all. Next. Now, because when I looked at the communication which I received from Professor Naveen Kumar, it referred to sustainability, and he has also made a mention of something pertaining to the state from where I am coming. So this is just a food for thought. It has no direct connectivity with the presentation which I have shared. I am sharing it for the good of the younger minds who are sitting over here. You can try to work on these areas, and this is going to be one of the greatest contribution to the humanity. The challenges which we have in the Himalayan region. The first challenge is the climate change. The second challenge is the melting of glaciers, which cannot be reversed. The melting of glaciers cannot be reversed because of the global warming. Then the challenge is the natural disasters which we have. So we have to create a resilient civilization there so that it can take care of the devastations which are coming before them, and they can simply survive even if we have certain natural calamity happening. Then we have unsustainable development. So there is a skewed development. See, the places, the migration is very fast, and the out-migration is not only from the remote regions to the mainland, it is also from those Himalayan states to the plain states. So that is also happening. So there is likelihood of unsustainable development. Then the ecological degradation is there. Then there is a huge impact on the biodiversity. So it's our human intervention which is bringing a disturbance in the complete biodiversity. The flora and fauna is getting disturbed. Then water resources. Then human-wildlife threat. This conflict between the human and wildlife, that also needs to be taken care. Next. Then poverty and livelihood. So the civilization which we have in these Himalayan states is not similar to what we see around us in these locations. There are huge challenges. For them, the life starts with something and it ends up with something. And there is a sizable population which has not seen the technology reaching out to their doors. And for them, it's something which is a miracle. Whereas we know that it's not a miracle, it's a technological tool which has been created by someone and it's being offered for use. For them, there are still certain locations where the vehicles have not gone to their places. So you can see if the vehicle reaches to their place, they consider it to be something which has come from out of blue, and they do not rely that this is something which has been created by human beings. Then food security, that's another threat and that's a challenge. Then infrastructure and urbanization and tourism, which we can capitalize upon. Some of the recent examples in last few years you might have seen, there is a sinking of the complete Joshimath, then glacial lake outburst in the form of floods that has happened. Then this Silkyara Barcode tunnel. Yeah. So you might have read it about 6 months or 8 months back. Next. So this all discussion is revolving around resource efficiency and circular economy. When we say circular economy, everything should be integrated, and we should not be in a position, we should not create something which is termed as a waste. We should try to recycle, reuse everything for the good, for the very purpose on which we have been focusing. Then next. So this is a slide which pertains to the factories of future. That is transition from industry 4.0 to 5.0. The ease of talent acquisition and retention, this is going to be one of the features. Then greater energy saving, that's going to be one of the features if we transit it from 4.0 to 5.0. Then sustainability and competitiveness will be there. Then resilience to the disruptive changes would be there. And some of the things would be game changer. Say additive manufacturing would be a game changer. Augmented reality would be game changer. Virtual reality would be game changer. Autonomous robots would be game changers. Big data and data analysis would be game changer. Cloud connectivity would be game changer. Then cyber security is going to be one of the key enablers. Then horizontal and vertical system integration would be a game changer. Then Internet of Things, which we have been listening since last so many years, that would be a game changer. Then simulation and digital twins would be game changer. Next. Then if you look into the specific, there is a case which I have taken that is pertaining to the power generation. So human-machine collaboration in power generation with the Industry 5.0 philosophy put in place. The control rooms which we are going to have, the control rooms will have augmented reality and virtual reality being used for better visualization and digital twin of the power plant. Complete power plant can be, say, reproduced, it can be simulated, and in the control room will have a digital twin. So that will be taken care by the human element. Then the cognitive assistant. This artificial intelligence-based processes which we are going to develop, they will be assisting in the final decision-making of the human element. So human element is there. Then cobots. That is collaborative human and collaboration between the humans and robots. So the collaborative robots would be working alongside workers in hazardous environment. So the ease is that the hazard is being taken care by the machine, but on top of it, we are keeping complete control on it. Then personalized services, customized services using AI and IT will be available, and we see around us that lot many services have been now digitally offered to the society, and they are really transforming the society in terms of transparency and accountability. Next. Then AI-assisted, please go back. So then AI-assisted resource management. So the power generation, storage, and consumption balance can be striked off with the environmental concerns being given due place. Then circular economy use can be there. Smart systems for long life cycle, predictive maintenance, and end-to-end recycling can be taken care. Then carbon capture can be taken care. Next. Then we can also, there could be self-healing grids. There is a minimum human intervention in fault detection, isolation, and repair, etc. Then decentralized control, distributed decision-making, independent microgrid operation, etc. These can be exercised in this modified regime. Then adaptive load management, which will be adjusting to the supply chain disruption, weather change. That means our whole complete ecosystem of the power generation will become much more resilient. Then social aspects in power generation, they will also undergo a change with Industry 5.0 philosophy. Energy management, that is community participation in decision making about power generation can be taken care. Then AI governance can be there, equitable access to power. Then consumer management, energy interface will make will make you capable of intuitively thinking about the complex grid interactions. Next. Then if you look at the impact of this AI on human resource, the impact is decisional, it's relational, and perceptual. So there is this repositioning of the Industry 4.0 to 5.0 will be actually having a decisional impact. So alongside the data analytics tool, respective roles and duties will be decided. There will be a relational impact. The data analytic tools will be used for taking care of the power imbalance, where engineers may re-script the operations. Then the perceptual impact will also be seen, where data analytics affects the perception and changes the relationship between operators and processes. Next. So this is all from my side, and the presentation is with you, and whatever I wanted to share to sensitize the community which is sitting over here, that Industry 5.0 is not something which is coming out of blue. It's a culmination of the challenges which we have faced and the observations which we have made with the cyber physical systems being developed and trying to dominate the whole operation of the society, growth of the society, and the direction in which the humanity is going to be after some time. With these words, I extend my best wishes to the organizers and congratulate Professor Naveen Kumar in particular for touching up this topic of Industry 5.0, and my best wishes to each one of you, and wish that each one of you try to contribute depending upon your own potential and capability for sensitizing the community around you, for taking care of the technological advancements, and using the technology to the extent that it does not make you slave. With these words, congratulations to each one of you. Thanks for patient hearing. Jai Hind.